That's right. Today we're talking about Starfield, baby. This game really doesn't have a choice but to be good, but to be great, but to be magnificent. So let's get this thing started right. This video will explain to you my belief as to why this game could flop, as to how this game could flop. The casual Bethesda fans are upset with the most recent games. With that being said, let me crack this bottle of Henny and dive right in. Alright, I just want to start by saying this. I know this game is about to be raw, at least in my opinion. Of all the Space Explorer games out there, like No Man's Sky, Outer Worlds, Mass Effect, Star Citizen, I can guarantee you this. This game will be the most complete of the genre. It is being built on a solid foundation, the Creation Engine. While we know the Creation Engine has built atrocities like Fallout 76, it is also responsible for the masterpiece we know as Skyrim. I don't want to bring up Fallout 4 because it has mixed reviews. Some people love it, some people hate it. So we'll just leave it at that. While I will admit that it was one of the last single player games that I actually completed, it also didn't make me feel the need to replay it. Let's hope Starfield isn't the same. Let's hope this is actually something special. The main reason we can't show Starfield the respect it deserves yet is something still relatively fresh and somewhat relevant. Fallout 76. What a fucking waste of potential. When we consider the state of that game on release, if it wasn't a cash grab, then we have more things to worry about. Far worse things. Todd Howard and the boys over at Bethesda have to have lost our trust on that one. Though, over time they have brought it back and it is in a comparatively better state. That game was multiplayer. Starfield won't have a lot of those issues, or any of them really, which is nice to know until you realize that's because there is no fucking multiplayer. Bro, no multiplayer for real? All that time spent hanging with the homies in a post-apocalyptic West Virginia, and now we have to go back to solitude. Which isn't too big of a deal if you're like me and love single-player RPGs. But most people aren't nerds who want to take months and months reading into lore. If you're expecting to pillage the universe with the boys, this game won't be for you. You'll be forced to play all alone in the biggest Bethesda game to date. Presuming you're already a Bethesda fan, this sounds unbelievable and enticing. However, when you're an industry skeptic like myself, this raises a lot of other questions. One of those questions being, will it be too big? Nah, that's not just something your new girlfriend tells you about her ex to make you feel better neither. There's supposed to be over 1,000 unique planets to visit. While we don't know how big each planet is, we have to worry about the depth of them. Most of them are said to be barren, about 90% of them to be more specific. That statement in and of itself is enough to make a normal person's spidey senses tingle. 90% of the game is resources. 90% of the game is just empty. Seems a little boring. Or maybe it's something worse, a case of underdevelopment. It is openly stated that Bethesda has never made anything to this scale. So it's impossible to know whether or not certain aspects of the game are fully developed. As a matter of fact, I can guarantee you this game will need work. It won't be perfectly polished at launch. It wouldn't even be fair to expect that either. But when you take into account the scale of the game, it leaves a lot to be worrisome about. We just have to have faith that there's no game-breaking bugs. We can't just give Bethesda the benefit of the doubt on this one either, because they've made big promises about this game and maybe even overpromised. They're now in the final bit of development according to Todd. He says they've been working on smoothing things out so everything runs beautifully and is crisper than ever and is bug free and fix this and fix that, and they've been saying this shit since forever. They said it with New Vegas. They said it with Morrowind. They said it with 76. So it really means jack shit. Let's just hope this isn't a repackaged larger Fallout and is actually something that feels new and innovative for the market. There's been a lot of changes over at Bethesda Gaming Studios and we expect them to be for the better. The major issue I see here is their new owners, Microsoft. Yep, if you haven't heard, Microsoft bought Bethesda, and while that means all the necessary funding is there, it also means there's little consequences for if Starfield is bad, because they are backed by Microsoft. We all know Microsoft is infamous for ruining gaming series. Halo, Gears of War, Forza, Fable, I could go on, but something about Microsoft just seems to strangle creativity out of developers. Fuck. And even with that all being said, I'm still gonna buy the goddamn game.